Hey, I'm doing well.
Uh,
Great to have you on here.
oh, thanks. Thank you for the presentation. My question is, and it's specific to my site. I inherited a building automation system whose entire network lives on the corporate network hardware. It's all IT managed, all IT owned, and it is on a subnet. That is what they say it's a separate VLAN, but I come to find that it's completely bridged to every other VLAN, and all it is just an IP pool. My devices can touch every device on the corporate network. Corporate network devices can touch every device in every port on my building automation system network.
Okay.
Where would be the place to start having the conversation with IT, or how would you approach the conversation with IT? So I'm not just walking in the room going, "What the heck are we doing? This is
Pointing fingers and
practice."
accusing. Yeah,
Yeah.
The core of the IT OT issue I found. I worked in field. I did field work for a very long time. Was kind of a fixer for a long time. I would send it to problem projects, and almost always there's very emotions involved. And I think you're right to think of it that way, because IT has been given a lot of power and control over a lot of things, and the OT folks are kind of sometimes bitter about it because their mentality often is, hey, we're the ones that keep the building running. We do the machines, and you guys treat us like we're your employees, right? This is the other way around, right? Like you're going in there to try to, with your operational network, who is sort of responsible for, does it lie on you to be responsible for the cybersecurity posture of your OT networks, or where how does that work for you, responsibility wise?
Responsibility wise, I think a lot of fingers would be pointed at me if there was something to happen, and it goes in both directions. My devices can affect the corporate network devices. Corporate network devices can affect my devices. So I have a good relationship with the IT department, but I don't really have the networking background to present them a coherent plan of this is how we need to proceed separating the networks. I mean, my initial instinct is we just cut out all of the bridges and find what ports we actually need to bridge, and then open them up one at a time. That may affect operations. Concerned with that.
Yeah, and that's not going to go over so well, right? Because that's where you find all your. I get where your problem. That's where you find out where your dependencies are, right? That's when you realize that it turns out there were a bunch of connections that were pretty crucial that someone set up because the ports were open, whatever, 2, 3, 5 years ago, whatever it was. And maybe that person no longer is with the company, so nobody really understands how crucial that is. But suddenly a system stops working, and everyone, like you said, fingers get pointed, and then you have to open all the ports up again, right? And you're not necessarily in a better situation. So I would probably approach them with as much kindness and humility as you can, and say, hey, listen, so I've discovered this, and I mean, I know you probably would have done that anyway. You don't want to go in with a, come on, guys, what the hell? Like that never, unfortunately, never goes well, because they're probably under-resourced for the things they have to take care of as well, right? So, I think it just also depends what kind of budget you might have to try to, like, whether you guys are the kind of company that would have outside help. There are, our team is one of many. There's many teams in the world that can help you with this type of problem, to go, okay, well, let's, like, how much are you willing to investigate here, and do you want to come up with a proper network strategy for your OT devices? And maybe you have the right equipment, maybe you have the right firewalls already, and they just need the right configuration. But yeah, figuring out what's talking back and forth, I think it's I'd start it with a simple conversation. Also, that's something you can even say, hey, we were chatting with Aviva Select and Schneider, and wondered if you were open to having a conversation with them about it. That's one option. If you're, to have a third party that sort of helps talk it out, right? Rather than, because that's what I found is one of the big value adds we have actually, is because we end up becoming a third party, and then it's not doesn't become tribal warfare, shall we say, because there's a third party there.